Hi, we're back in the world of the yokai, and today we're looking at the weirdest and most bizarre yokai in Japanese mythology and folklore. Our first yokai on the list is the mysterious Kasa Abaka, also known as the umbrella yokai. The Kasa Abaka is said to form from an old, neglected umbrella when it reaches a certain age. They look like a tattered paper umbrella and grow a single leg, a large creepy eye, and a long lashing tongue. They jump around on one leg and love to play pranks on humans, making them jump in fright. Usually, this only happens with umbrellas over a century old. So that old golf umbrella in your garage is probably okay. Probably. These strange creatures are part of a prolific Japanese folklore tradition in which neglected objects, particularly those that have been mistreated or abandoned, transform into fiendish or malicious spirits. Other types include the Biwa Bokuboku, a type of Japanese lute that sprouts legs and plays on the street for money. Next, we have Kejiro the hairy prostitute yokai. She is said to be a beautiful woman, but her face and body are covered behind a mass of hair. She lurks in the pleasure quarters of Japan, looking for her victims. The men who she preys on usually see a beautiful woman with long black hair, and upon approaching her, they are frozen with shock when they realize she is completely covered in it. This gives her enough time to attack them using her prehensile hair. In the tales of Japanese folklore, there is another strong tradition of yokai being found in red light districts or brothels of Japan. For our third eerie and odd yokai, we have possibly the most disgusting of them all. Akanami, the filth licker demon. The Akanami, or filth licker, is a particularly foul creature. They are said to stalk bathhouses, dirty homes, or unattended bathrooms with their green skin and huge tongues hanging out their mouths. They love dirty places lacking in sanitation, and spend their time lapping at the grime and mildew on the floor and walls with their long tongues. So make sure to pick your dirty socks off the floor, lest you find this ghastly ghoul licking at the edge of your bed. There are tales of more sinister Akanabe though, where an Akanabe has the ability to turn into a beautiful woman who rather than licking scum and grime prefers the taste of flesh. She is said to have asked an old man if he would like her to scrub his back, and when he said yes, she licked all his flesh off with her huge tongue until only his skeletal carcass remained. Next, we have a strange and spooky one. Wanyudo, the flaming wheel priest yokai. Wanyudo is often depicted as a human head attached to a flaming wheel, and they're one of the most iconic and terrifying yokai in Japanese folklore. The origins of Wanyudo are closely tied to Buddhist beliefs and the concept of karma. In some legends, they are said to be the restless spirit of a wicked priest or feudal lord, who is condemned to this gruesome and relentless form. They are said to be guardians of the gates of hell, but suffer just as much as the inmates of hell themselves, being just a head attached to a constantly burning wheel the size of an ox. They sometimes act as an almost Grim Reaper-like figure, capturing criminals and dragging them back to hell with them to be judged. One infamous tale of the Wanyudo tells of a mother who looked out of her window when she heard the screaming of a man being dragged back to hell by the Wanyudo. Staring back at her, the Wanyudo told her to stop looking at him and to instead keep her eyes on her child. She turned around to her child and noticed they had vanished. She looked back outside at the Wanyudo, and to her horror, she saw her child in the mouth of the foul wheel priest, rolling away in the distance. A far more graphic warning against nosiness than curiosity killing the cat. Next up, an utterly bizarre Japanese spirit, Ashirai Yashiki, the giant dirty foot yokai. This frankly revolting yokai often appeared in an onsen, a type of Japanese bathhouse, or in a lord's mansion as a gigantic foot covered in hair and dirt. It crashed through the roof demanding that the servants wash its foot. In the main legend regarding the Ashirai Yashiki, a lord of a mansion hears a giant voice bellowing, "Wash my foot." He then hears a loud crash. He sees his servants scrambling around with water and rags, trying to clean the monstrous appendage. Apparently, this happens again and again for many nights, and every time the giant foot isn't washed sufficiently, it stirs its foot around, causing immense damage. Eventually, the lord convinced his neighbor to swap mansions with him to try and get away from the Ashirai Yashiki, but it mysteriously never appeared again. Maybe the neighbor's wife just had really big feet and was looking for a nicer house. Yokai are a weird and wonderful part of Japanese folklore. If you want to find out more, Check out my top 10 yokai video. Let me know if you've ever heard of any other bizarre yokai. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and see you again at Darkness and Lore.